Welcome, listeners, to another spine-chilling tale from the twisted minds behind neon nightmares. Prepare yourselves for a journey into the darkest corners of the human psyche, where nightmares come to life and the line between reality and delusion blurs. Title: The Haunting of Willow's Rest. In the heart of the sprawling countryside stood an old mansion known as Willow's Rest. Abandoned for decades, it was rumored to be haunted by the spirits of its former residents. Its decrepit facade loomed ominously against the backdrop of the moonlit night, casting eerie shadows across the overgrown lawn. Inside, a young woman named Emily had inherited the house from her late grandmother. With a heavy heart, she returned to Willow's Rest, determined to sell the property and move on with her life. But as soon as she stepped through the creaking front door, she felt an unsettling presence lingering in the air. Emily was a practical woman in her late 20s, with a penchant for skepticism and a rational mind. She had always dismissed tales of ghosts and ghouls as nothing more than superstition. Yet, as she wandered through the dimly lit corridors of Willow's Rest, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The house itself seemed to be alive, its walls whispering secrets of long-forgotten tragedies. Emily tried to brush off the sensation, chalking it up to her overactive imagination. But as night fell and darkness enveloped the mansion, her rationality began to wane. Alone in the vast expanse of Willow's Rest, Emily found herself plagued by strange occurrences. Objects would move of their own accord. Footsteps echoed in empty rooms, and cold drafts chilled her to the bone. Each night she would lock herself in her room, trembling with fear, as she listened to the ghostly symphony that echoed through the halls. Desperate for answers, Emily delved into the history of Willow's Rest, uncovering a dark and twisted past. It was said that the original owner, a wealthy widow named Lady Evelyn, had been driven mad by grief after the death of her husband and children. Consumed by despair, she took her own life within the walls of the mansion, cursing it with her lingering spirit. As Emily pieced together the puzzle of Willow's Rest, she realized that she was not alone in the house. The restless spirits of Lady Evelyn and her family still roamed the halls, trapped in a never-ending cycle of torment and despair. Determined to set them free, Emily embarked on a perilous journey to unravel the mysteries of the past. Armed with nothing but her courage and determination, Emily delved deeper into the heart of Willow's Rest, facing horrors beyond imagination. She encountered apparitions that flickered in and out of existence, their anguished cries echoing through the empty corridors. She braved the depths of the mansion's darkest secrets, confronting the malevolent force that held Lady Evelyn and her family captive. But as Emily delved deeper into the darkness, she began to lose herself to the haunting power of Willow's Rest. The line between reality and nightmare blurred, and she found herself ensnared in a web of deceit and betrayal. Trapped in a labyrinth of twisted corridors, Emily struggled to find her way out before it was too late. In the end, it was not Emily's courage or determination that saved her, but the power of love. As she stood on the brink of oblivion, she called out to the spirits of Willow's Rest, offering them forgiveness and redemption. In that moment of pure vulnerability, the curse that had bound Lady Evelyn and her family was broken, and their tortured souls were finally set free. As dawn broke over the horizon, Emily emerged from the depths of Willow's Rest, her heart heavy with sorrow, but her spirit unbroken. Though the scars of her ordeal would never fully heal, she knew that she had faced her demons head-on and emerged victorious. And as she walked away from the haunted mansion for the last time, she whispered a silent prayer for the souls that still lingered within its walls, hoping that they had found peace at last. Our second tale takes us to the shadows of solitude. In the heart of the dense woods stood a mansion, weathered by time, shrouded in mysteries whispered by the wind. The locals spoke in hushed tones about its dark history, warning each other to steer clear. They called it the Manor of Lost Souls, a place where the dead refused to rest. Amelia, a young woman in her mid-20s, inherited the mansion from her estranged great-aunt. With a mixture of curiosity and reluctance, she decided to spend a weekend there, hoping to uncover the truth behind the eerie tales that surrounded the place. Amelia arrived at the mansion as dusk descended, the fading light casting long shadows that seemed to dance around her. The mansion loomed ominously before her, its silhouette etched against the darkening sky. She pushed open the heavy wooden doors, the creaking sound echoing through the empty halls. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the scent of decay. Amelia lit a candle, its flickering flame offering little solace against the encroaching darkness. She explored the mansion cautiously, her footsteps echoing on the worn floorboards. As night fell, Amelia settled into the master bedroom, its grandeur tarnished by neglect. She lay in bed, listening to the sounds of the old house, creaking floors, whispering winds, and the distant cry of an owl. Unable to shake the feeling of being watched, Amelia drifted into a restless sleep. Dreams plagued her, visions of shadowy figures lurking in the corners of her mind. Suddenly, she was jolted awake by a blood-curdling scream echoing through the halls. Heart-pounding, she leaped out of bed and rushed into the hallway, her candle trembling in her hand. The mansion seemed to have come alive with malevolent energy, the walls pulsating with unseen forces. Amelia's breath caught in her throat as she saw the figures emerging from the shadows, ghostly apparitions, their hollow eyes fixed on her. Terrified, she stumbled backward, her pulse racing with fear. She tried to flee, but the doors were sealed shut, trapping her in the haunted mansion. Desperate, Amelia searched for a way out, her mind clouded with panic. She stumbled upon a hidden passage, its entrance concealed behind a tapestry adorned with faded roses. With trembling hands, she pushed aside the heavy fabric and stepped into the darkness beyond. The passage led deep into the bowels of the mansion, its walls lined with portraits of long-dead ancestors. Their eyes seemed to follow her, their silent gazes filled with sorrow and longing. As she delved deeper into the labyrinthine corridors, Amelia's sense of dread only grew stronger. The air grew colder and strange whispers echoed through the darkness, taunting her with promises of doom. Finally, she came upon a chamber bathed in an ethereal glow, its walls adorned with ancient runes and symbols. At the center of the room stood a figure cloaked in shadow, its form shifting and twisting like smoke in the wind. Amelia's blood ran cold as she realized the true nature of the mansion, the restless spirits trapped within its walls, yearning for release. She had unwittingly awakened them, her presence serving as a catalyst for their torment. With a sinking feeling, she understood that she was destined to join them, another lost soul condemned to wander the halls of the haunted mansion for all eternity. As the shadows closed in around her, swallowing her whole, Amelia let out a final scream that echoed through the empty halls, a haunting lament for a life cut short by the darkness that lurked within. And in the depths of the night, the Manor of Lost Souls claimed another victim, its secrets buried forever in the mists of time. Title: Echoes of the Forgotten. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the overgrown garden, Sarah felt a shiver run down her spine. She stood before the looming mansion, her family's ancestral home, now abandoned for decades. Her parents had left her alone for the weekend, confident that the old house held no secrets she couldn't handle. But Sarah wasn't so sure. The house had always seemed alive to her, its walls echoing with the whispers of the past. Growing up, she'd heard tales of strange occurrences, of ghostly apparitions and unexplained noises that plagued the halls. Now, as she stood on the threshold, those stories felt more real than ever. Sarah's parents had left her detailed instructions. Lock the doors, don't wander too far, and whatever you do, don't go into the basement. But Sarah was curious, and the allure of uncovering the secrets hidden within the old house was too strong to resist. Inside, the air was thick with dust, and the only sound was the creaking of floorboards beneath her feet. She wandered through the grand foyer, tracing her fingers along the faded wallpaper, feeling as though she were being watched. As night fell, Sarah lit a candle and explored the upper floors. Each room held its own mysteries. A forgotten nursery with toys scattered across the floor, a dusty library lined with ancient tomes, and a bedroom frozen in time, its bed neatly made as though waiting for its occupant to return. but it was the basement that called to her the most. Ignoring her parents' warnings, Sarah descended the creaking staircase into the darkness below. The basement was cold and damp, the air heavy with the scent of decay. Sarah's candle flickered as she moved deeper into the shadows, her heart pounding in her chest. As she explored, she stumbled upon a hidden room tucked away behind a crumbling wall. Inside, she found a collection of old photographs, their faces blurred with age. Among them was a portrait of a young girl with dark eyes and a haunting smile, her name scribbled in faded ink at the bottom, Eleanor. Suddenly, Sarah felt a chill run down her spine as though she were being watched. She turned to leave, but the door had vanished, leaving her trapped in the darkness. Panic rising, Sarah frantically searched for a way out, but the walls seemed to shift and change around her, leading her further into the depths of the basement. Just when she thought she couldn't take it anymore, she heard a voice whispering in the darkness. It was soft and gentle, but filled with a sadness that sent shivers down her spine. "Who are you?" Sarah called out, her voice trembling. The voice grew closer until Sarah could feel its breath on her neck. "I am Eleanor," it whispered. "I've been waiting for you." With a sinking feeling, Sarah realized the truth. The house was not haunted by malevolent spirits, but by the echoes of the past, trapped within its walls. As the darkness closed in around her, Sarah knew that she would never escape, doomed to wander the halls of the old house for all eternity, just another forgotten soul lost in its labyrinthine depths. We thank you for listening to our haunted house tales and hope you have enjoyed our time together. If you would like to see more videos, remember to like and subscribe to Neon Nightmares for more thrilling adventures. We hope you'll join us for our next journey into the unknown.